Pleasant good night to each and every one of you in Georgetown, Guyana, and elsewhere, fellow citizens. Before I started to open my mouth to tell you how I think or how I feel, I want you to subscribe to my channel and press the bell so you will get the next updated video as soon as I release it. Let it be known to each and every one of you in the two major races, the Indian descendant who arrived but not going back home because your visa look like is an everlasting one. And for my black brothers and sisters who claiming emancipation but will not go back to Africa. Sometimes I wonder, why use words when you all don't understand the bloody meaning of it? Please, for God's sake, was not the Chinese arrive in Guyana, they were slaves too? Were not the Portuguese? They were slaves too. But every time I have to repeat it, it's about the East Indian descendant, which I'm a part of, and the African descendant, which I'm also a part of. I want to make this clear without a blood in me. I have lived through many times and many things. And in the 60s under the British, before came the disaster, I will never forget as a kid, we were living very nice with neighbors, Indian and black alike, and other races. It was uncle and auntie, brothers and sister, black boy, black girl, coolie boy, coolie girl, and all this nonsense, but it was not as exposed and defeating to each other. It was done in the compromisation of feelings and love and affection for one another. Some of the best teachers were blacks. Maybe still, I don't know. Some of the best midwives were blacks, nurses, and others. And when coming on the English language, I have to respect you, the black people in Guyana, great-grandchildren of slavery. You did not use your culture to corrupt a nation like those who arrive. I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen, especially when they sing and dance and cannot understand the meaning of Mother India. And if so be the case for my Indian fellow brothers and sisters, friends all, if you came from the last spring of Bangladesh or Pakistan, but all because of religion. The word of the great, y'all divide Mother India. Indian people, you must accept your fault before we repair. Y'all are covetous, vindictive, corrupt. Y'all are very ungrateful. You don't remember kindness. No matter what people do with you. That is why I said Judas had to be an Indian. Because you all love money. You will sell your mother, your brother. You would say you did not see when you were there, like Peter, not an Indian. Because Jesus went to India and studied and come back, and he bring followers with him. So when you follow the behavior of the animal, Judas get 30 silver, Jesus get the cross. Peter said he didn't know Jesus, never seen a man before, and he was with the man and he cut out a Roman ace and Jesus put it back. Later they hang you upside down. You have to be Indian. I'm sorry, I got your blood in me. I have a sister-in-law named Indra Sigobin, is Indra Chong, the most corrupt effing bitch in my family. from a hiker opposite the market in Accra Street. She father, Mr. Gobin, seemed to be a nice people, but the whole other family is corrupt, covetous, very whoring and drunkard. I, George Correa, said so. Y'all could do you like, go to the Obeah man for me, for I am the cure for this disease. And the PPP, let it be known to you. You promised so many things, what have you delivered? Corruption, allowing people to be beaten, people like what happened in Enmore. A mob of people, you only get a couple of them that you're charged. And Barrett said the right thing, they have to go through the maximum. But I got some video with more than the couple that you got. But I will not release it because I think you should ask those who you are trying, who lead them to it. There are politicians involved in it. And I want Mr. Ramjatan and Nagamutu to know as AFC member. There were AFC people get their ass beaten on that day. What I'm trying to tell you, when a certain group don't get what they want, they don't care what horse and tiger with them. They'll beat the others. They will not care about them. So therefore, you will have to understand where we are getting with this. Guyana belonged to an indigenous people called the Amerindian. And they got to buy land in their own country from the great-grandchildren of slave and cheap labor when you are condemning the white man for slavery. Today, look at y'all, great musicians, doctors, pilots, scientists. If you were back in Mother Africa, you think you would have been that? Ask our African brothers and sisters today in Africa what's happening. Abacha of Nigeria, where my blood comes from, billions of dollars are still in the Swiss bank. It's still not given out to them, it's alleged, to Nigeria. Go on. In the 70s, went on a conference to Jamaica. His wife had more shoes than the days of the year. He had to go to exile in England. And the whole African continent, after the European leave us, the white man, as you say, you all are killing one another. And your grandchildren and great nation with educated people, great philosophers and storytellers are trying to come to the white man's shore, which is the European. And they greet them, help them. While in Africa, you all are killing each other. Look at Ethiopia, Somalia, and many more. Are you people not ashamed? Huh? Over tribal warfare, you're killing each other. So you, the black man out of Africa for hundreds of years, stop talking about slavery. The Bible is full of it. Some of the prophets were sold as slaves. And Abraham had sex with his slave, that old bastard. As they say, the Bible say. His wife tell him, have sex with your slave. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't believe in that. I would have liked to know that my ex-wife, well, I never loved servant. If you're my wife, you can't cook and clean, you don't need me and I don't need you. You hear? And if you got money and your wife wants a chauffeur, this goes to black, Indian, and other race. Get an old man with no teeth in his mouth and he got one eye. If you get a young man, you spending time in your office, want to service your secretary, the man will serve your mistress right before your eyes. Be careful. Wake up, you illiterate bastards. I know y'all like to lock up people's children like what Ramjatan do. That his investigator tell him, my son pled guilty, but so help me God, Ramjatan, you shall eat your filth before you die. You are Nagamutu. And your children will go mad before your eyes. You will never inherit. Find out who know me. You see this tongue? It don't go far. Think of it. White Stratman did not do like you. He was kicked out by Desmond Hoyt. Did he join the PPP? No. He joined AFC with yourself. And Nagamutu, you could pretend how much you want. It was only a mild thing that God and he gave David Ranger cancer. Listen, I don't believe in what you all believe in. I believe in God Almighty. I will get my justice. My son was locked up and beaten by Timeri police. I want every station commander to be responsible for the criminals that they booked. And every police must stand trial for beating a prisoner. And when my son went to break down with his fiancée from England, what are the bloody British ambassador doing? You should bring a charge against the Guyana police force of breakdown. I have a name of one who sprayed the pepper spray. But I'm not going to release it. Remember these words: money talks, and bullshit walks, and race is only darkness. And I cover it. I'm coming to Guyana. I heard y'all want to kill me. Remember, America gets what America wants. Okay? And, right, Mansour? You must remember who was standing at your corner. You must remember who was there, Mansour. I don't blame you when I told you give Jagan the 3 seat. You see, he did a leave before the term was over. Ask Dr. Dan Paul, the interview, what I told Christina in Manhattan in the interview. When Dr. Dan Paul says, Dr. Jagan is ready like Freddie. And Christina came to me and said, Mr. Correa, I've just interviewed Dr. Dan Paul. And he said, Chetty is ready like Freddie for the next election. I said, Dr. Dan Paul got it right, but not election. He's ready for the graveyard. Get that video, you will see it. I do not believe in wickedness. Whether you're black, you're brown, you're green, or you're yellow, God make man. He did not make race, unless it's the human race. And I want you all to know, Providence Police with 24/7, the man who got M&M, and the other one is Sheriff Street, and the other one with the car dealer, BM Soot. I want you all to know, I'm a very forgiving person. I don't forget, but I have people. And let it be known to you, Mr. Ali, you're trying your best, but you're getting carried away with some advisors. Be your own man. You're spreading out. Your opposition is claiming that too many Indians are getting contract, and if so be the case, you have to stop it. But they must remember what Burnham done when more black people are in the military, the police force, and the civil servant. And I'll give the excuse because they speak better English. And they write English. Now, Abianayu, Dong Son Yasa. But I want you to know, the police at Timeri, I have all of your name who beat Anthony Snow, naked as he was born, and didn't even give him medical treatment. What a shame if you are women who involved and your men. May God take the best part of your children and your grandchildren, and you all suffer for it, and the commander. And for the minister who ordered it, may he eat from the gut of the street of Guyana. That is why David Granger was removed from office. That incident, and the other one is when he called Kabir Mohammed a hero. How can we call a killer a hero? Think of it. Think of it, David. A woman in Mackenzie once called you honorable. I think she go to say miserable. Because there's nothing honorable in the parliament. I know there's good amongst you, but they're scared. Got to get in a good salary, duty-free concession. Why the police, the doctors, and the army, and all civil servants do not get duty-free? Sorry. Why? But you use the black police to beat and kill for you. You use the black judges and magistrates. Mr. Ali, your party do it. Like Ramjat and them party. Because you all hand-picked judges and magistrates. I am calling on the stupid people, the Indian and the black, the majority. Y'all are responsible for it. Stop it. The future of your generation is at stake here. Listen to Glenn Lal. What he's telling you, he's not lying. But again, I want Glenn to know, don't blame the buyer, blame the seller. But if a man rob a pawn shop, thief all the jewel, and he value $10 million, and somebody give you $500,000, he will take it. That is what is happening in your parliaments with all of them. They're only talking so for you all to see because plenty of people got cameras and videoing them. And the bank, let those bank managers know. A bank is open to assist the nation of a loan once you have the assets or whatever to make it right. You are denying people because of political favors and who tell you what to do, what not to do. And Mr. Ali, as a government, you should not be partial. Your job as elected as your president and your ministers is to do the right thing. Criticism is number one for any leaders. Muhammad was criticized. He went to war. A spider saved him, Ali. Ali, think. You came from a good background. Don't let your father be shamed in the wilderness. And do not be sold because of influence from corrupt people. I have a lot of respect for you. Look into my case, where a man named Mohanlal says by an egress and egress dam that I was paying tax for over 30 years. And Ahmad Ali, Yassin Ali, an imam, I hope they bury him. He died. He passed. I hope he take away the cemetery, because since he died, nobody else go to that cemetery. Indian, you love to fight for land that don't belong to you. So I'm calling on the decent black people and the Indian to unite, and let's get a national front government. It's alleged that a lot of Amerindians are in Venezuela talking, and some are in Brazil. Venezuela wants 60%. Brazil wants to come through to use the waterfront. And Suriname leader once says the oil money belongs to the people. Why not follow Colonel Gaddafi policy? His mother and father would not get a house until every Libyan get a house. He turned a desert into a forest. He had 100 or something billion in reserve. I want to know, it's alleged, Libya didn't get it back. And he says he will not take exile in no country. He loves his country. They kill him in a gutter. An honorable man, a noble man, a man who fought for the rights of the people. Every Libyan was getting money out of the oil. Fellow Guyanese, Indian and black, unite for the future of your children. Stop listening to 65 members of parliament that only playing games with you. And don't worry, no matter where you run, we can bring you back. You beat innocent people, lock up innocent people, you're going to answer. Trust me. Let it be known, we are servants of the United States. We've been to war for them. We serve them. We will not give up this hemisphere. Freedom and democracy for every human being. And I want more American present in Guyana and Canadian. Omar is alleged release cyanide, kill Amerindian, and they're still there. Nobody gets sued, nobody do nothing. Is the Amerindian not human being? Why do they have to buy land in the country, Ali? Wake up, brother. Ramadan is coming. Don't make Allah curse your generation. May Allah be with you. And Bhagwan be with the Hindu. And may Jesus show the Christian the path of life. Peace be unto all of you. Let's unite, save Guyana and Guyanese, and put the country forward. Everyone must have a house and money and live on, that brothers and sisters and Guyanese, and open the door to Africa and India and those who stand our time of needs. Good luck, and I am your host, George Correa. Peace and good night to all of you. Thank you.